Hi, it's Nath from Not Christmas Autism Girl. Welcome back to my channel. So, in this video, we're going to be doing part 2 of the Discussing Favorites in the Logan Tired series. So, so at the end, I was doing my best animated female TV characters. We're going to do the list again. But because I was rushing, I'm going to do it again. 12 is Alya. Alya is the best friend of Marinette. She's supportive and caring. 11 is Suki from Avatar's Airbender. She's the love interest of Sokka, and she's the leader of the Kyoshi Warriors. She's tough, and I love her. She's one of my favorite Avatar's Airbender characters, actually. Number 10, we have Candace from Phineas and Ferb. I find Candace to be a very relatable character because she is like trying to get her crush's attention, and I just like her. Her anxieties and her insecurities to be very relatable. Number 9 is Bella from Phineas and Ferb. Bella is the across the street neighbor of Phineas and Ferb in Candace. She has unbeknownst to Phineas, she has a crush on him. I did a video on them if you want to check it out. Number 8, we have Sora from Ninjago Dragon's Rising. Sora is a new character. She is the elemental power of elemental. She's an elemental master of technology. She thinks it's Ryu, a dragon, but it's actually her power. And the way she comes to terms with her past is really cool. I love her. So number 7, we have Raven from switching in. So number 5, we have Raven. 7, we have Raven from Teen Titans. She's a very deep character. She's empathic powers and telekinesis and like astral projection, and she can look through stuff, and she's really powerful. So I love her because of how deep of a character she is. I mean, she doesn't show emotion because it messes with her powers. Like, she won't be able to control her powers if she shows any emotion. It just kind of is interesting to see turmoil she goes throughout the show. Number 6, we have Anne from Amphibia. So Anne Boone Choi is the main character from Amphibia. She goes through a growth and change throughout the show. She's really good. She's a really awesome character. I mean, I think she's one of the main reasons people love Amphibia so much. So she's just a really good character. 5, we have Nia from Ninjago. Ignoring seasons 3 through 5, where she calls a love triangle, and season 4, where she didn't really have that big of a part, but season 5, she's kind of annoying because she was like, I don't mean to boast, yes, but yeah, she totally meant to boast. But I love her in other seasons, like season Seabound is her season, it's amazing. Season 6 is so good. So beyond season 3 and 5, she's a really good character. She's a strong ninja, and she's the girl ninja, but she's a really strong, independent ninja. She doesn't like to be called a girl ninja, but I just called her that. Number 4 is Hera from Star Wars Rebels. Now, she is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. So, and that was before Ahsoka came out. So I'm just calling her animated because, For 3, we have Marinette, aka Ladybug. So I love Ladybug from Miraculous. She's a really good character. She struggles with speaking around her crush, Adrian. She's a strong superhero who figures things out where it seems like it's impossible to figure the situation out. Number 2, we have Star Butterfly from Star vs. the Force of Evil. She is the main character. She's a magical princess from another dimension. And then we have number 1, you all knew it, was Toph. It's Toph. Amazing blind earthbender. So then we have the best animated male characters. Number 13 is Ron from Kim Possible. Now I actually like Ron more than Kim, so that's why he's on this list. He's her clumsy sidekick, but he's a really good character. I mean, he's loyal, and he likes her, and it's just he's a good character. I love his mystical monkey power story. It's awesome. Number 12, we have Adrian / Cat Noir. Now I know number 3 was Marinette, and I love Adrian, but there are just other characters I like more. But he likes Ladybug, and is just friends with Marinette. And he's a really awesome superhero. He has a superpower called the Cataclysm. And then, yeah, that's a good show. Number 11, we have Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, Zuko is the banished prince of the Fire Nation. He has a scar that his father gave him for speaking out of turn, and then he banished him when he refused to. He banished him because he refused to fight his father, and then his father burned him and then banished him. That's how it went down. Very sad. He has this great redemptive arc. So. Number 10, we have Dipper from Gravity Falls. Now, Dipper is the main character, one of the twins from Gravity Falls, and he discovers this journal, and he's a really awesome character. He has a crush on Wendy, this 15-year-old girl, and he's 12. And he's always trying to impress her. He's just a really good character. He's always sacrificing for his sister. So, yeah, that's Dipper. Number 9, we have Varian from Tangled the series. Now, Varian is a new character in Tangled the series. He's this alchemist, this 14-year-old alchemist, and he has a redemptive arc too, where he falls hard, and he tries to, because his father gets encased in amber, and Rapunzel turns his back on him. So then he swears revenge. So number 8, we have Greg from Over the Garden Wall. Greg's the younger half-brother of Wirt, who was also on this list. Greg is a great optimistic character who's very funny. He's always saying the funniest things, but he's also deeply cares about his brother as he sacrificed for him. So Sam, when he had the opportunity to go home, he chose to, spoiler warning, yeah, I'm not going to tell you, but he sacrifices himself for his brother. Oh, that's all I'm going to say. 7 is Wirt, the main character, one of Greg's older half-brother who's in high school. He's a very complex character who goes through this change and all this growth in this story. You think he's like a pushover. He's always speaking poetry, and he's such a great character. So, number 6, we have Beast Boy from Teen Titans. Now, Beast Boy is considered the jokester of the group. He's actually very serious when he wants to be. He was part of the Doom Patrol once, and kind of battle-hardened. And he also shows great leadership skills. And he's a really good friend. He never gives up on people. He never gave up on Tara. He never gave up on Raven. Even when everyone else said Tara was hopeless, this case of Tara was hopeless, he was give up on her. And when Raven locked herself in her room, Beast Boy didn't give up on her. So number 5, we have Ezra from Star Wars Rebels. So Ezra is the main character from Star Wars Rebels. He's a really good character. And then he goes through a lot of changes and growth throughout the story. And he learns how to view the Ghost Crew as his family, and he learns to let go of his parents. So, good character. So number 4, we have Kai from Ninjago. Kai is fiercely loyal. He's been described as fiercely loyal, hot-headed, but he cares deeply for his friends. And he's fiercely loyal, like I said before. So he's the elemental master of fire, and he likes this girl, Skylar. He's really a good character. So number 3, we have Cole from Ninjago, the elemental master of Earth. He's so sweet, and he's empathetic, and he's selfless. So number 2, we have Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender, my second favorite character from Avatar. And he takes the number 2 spot here. So Sokka's funny, but he's also a great warrior and a great hero. And he wants to prove himself to his dad, but then his dad tells him he doesn't need to. And he's just awesome. I love Sokka. Number 1 is Marco from Star vs. the Force of Evil. Marco takes the number 1 spot, but Star didn't. That's kind of sad. But anyway, Marco is from my favorite show, so it makes sense he would take the number 1 spot. So, next we have Bob's live-action female TV characters. So I think we're going through a top 8 list here. So number 8, we have Skylar Storm, who's the crush of Oliver, and she has 24 superpowers. And she loses them all, and but she's also a great fighter, even without powers. And she proves herself to be a remarkable hero. And she deeply cares about others, like when she sacrificed herself for Bree and Labrador's Elite Force. Despite the show being smelly, flaming trash, she still shows her true colors and how much she cares about other people. Number 7, we have Penny from Lost in Space. Penny is the middle child of the Robinsons, and she's a really great character who and she kind of goes through this journey with her insecurities, where she doesn't have anything in common with her mom like her siblings do. And she has to end up being part of a love triangle. She ends up making the right choice, I think. And so she's definitely, she's also kind of reckless at the same time, but she's also awesome. Number 6, we have Judy, the oldest child of Robinsons, and she's a great leader who loves her family and cares about them. She's the one who says the Robinsons stick together. And she goes through some trauma at the beginning when she gets stuck under the ice. But she shows, and then when that time in Run where she risks her life to help her stepdad, John. And so when she takes the run outside of where she's supposed to in order to save him, and she says the most heart-wrenching speech, saying, I'm going to hate you. I'm going to hate you for taking another father away from me. Because, she lost her biological father. Such a powerful scene. And she ends up saving it. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but I just did. So, number 5, we have Emma from H2O. Emma has ice power, freezing water powers, and she's a strong leader. And she's just a good character. But number 4, we have Cleo, also from H2O. She's a really good character. She goes from this insecure girl who's afraid of the water to being a strong, confident mermaid. Like people who go through a lot of change. Number 3, we have Ricky from H2O. She's my favorite of the 3 mermaids. She has powers to heat water. And she's very fiery, and that's what I like about her fiery spirit. Number 2 is Alexa from Alexa and Katie. Alexa is fiercely loyal to her friend Katie, and she goes through this struggle with her cancer and wanting not to be known as the sick girl. She ultimately learns there's so much more to herself than that. And she also just proves great friend she is, and she has trouble just picking a major, or when she just goes through a lot of changes. I love that show. So number one is Katie from Alexa and Katie. I find Katie to be slightly more relatable than Alexa because she's the loyal friend who has the anxiety, and she ends up having this great relationship with this guy who she was once an enemy with. Last live action male characters. I think we have a top 7 here. So we're going to go through this. First we have Corey, the main character from Boy Meets World. Oh, wait, hold on. No. First we have number 8, we have Eric from Boy Meets World. Eric's such an interesting character. He goes from like this ladies' man. He goes through all these changes. And then his relationship with Tommy I cried. So good. He's the older brother of Corey. And so he shows how much he values friendship, how much he cares about others. We have Farkle from Girl Meets World. I'm not the biggest fan of Girl Meets World for various reasons, but I do like Farkle. And he's a really cool character. He's a great friend, and he gets bullied at one point, or when he tries to change himself, and then he ends up never really staying the same after that. When he thinks he has autism, or when he falls in love with Smackle, he just goes through so many cool changes, and then he can't figure out who he is. And his friends are like, you have your own category named after you, because he's always voted in the yearbook most likely to be Farkle. So, yeah. 6, we have Corey from Boy Meets World. Now, Corey's the main character, and he's a great character, but there's one character in Boy Meets World that tops him, Sean. Sean had a very hard life. He goes through a lot throughout the story, but I love following him and his changes and how he ends up getting his happy ending in the end. Number 4, we have Lewis from H2O. Y'all knew I love Cleveland Lewis. Well, I love Lewis by himself. He's a great character. Number 3, we have Kaz from Honeyman. Kaz is the best friend of Oliver, and he is a really good character. He's sometimes lazy, but he shows he takes care of helping others seriously. 2, we have Oliver. It was hard choice between Kaz and Oliver, but Oliver takes the top spot. Until Lab Rats Elite Four, so I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. Number 1 is Will Robinson from Lost in Space. He's such a good character. Season 3. So, yeah. Wanted to talk about TV friendships next. First, we have Anna and Spring. Wait, okay, let me go backwards again. So, number 10, we have Alia and Marinette. I love Alia and Marinette, but there are just other friendships I like more. That's the only reason they're not in this spot. These are the best friendships. So, number 9, we have Fitz and Mac from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mac is the one who helps Fitz come out of his brain damage, and he shows how much he cares about Fitz throughout the story, and Fitz shows how much he cares about Mac. So, yeah. Next, we have Ahsoka and Rex from the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars, they're friends, and they have a great relationship, especially during Order 66 when he stands by her. even losing his title. So number 6, we have Carlos and Jay from. Next, we have Carlos and Jay from Descendants series. Carlos and Jay, you mostly see their friendship in Descendants 1, when Jay you just know they're best friends based on their dynamic. I mean, it's very obvious. Next, we have Cyborg and Beast Boy, who are best friends in the Teen Titans series. Beast Boy says, "I know I never told you this, but you're my best friend," when he thinks Cyborg is dead. And then when he accidentally gives Cyborg that virus and then risks everything to go save him. Next, we have Dewey and Launchpad from DuckTales. Dewey and Launchpad are best friends in the DuckTales 2017 series. Dewey is the blue triplet, the one who wears blue, and Launchpad is the pilot, and because Dewey is his best friend, and he's all about Dewey. Dewey doesn't say it back till season 3, when he says, when Launchpad's hesitant to make the sacrifice, and he says, "I want to be good enough for you," and Dewey says, "Of course you're good enough for me. You're my best friend." It's a sweet episode, and a very funny episode too. Number 4, we have Cole and Jay from Ninjago. Cole and Jay's friendship falls apart. 3, but then they were parents, and it's just a beautiful friendship. I mean, Jay calls Cole his best friend, and then Jay calls Cole his best friend, and Cole holds him accountable. He says, "I should have been a better friend," even though he was a great friend. And, Cole stands up for Jay to Mia, and then, they just prove how much they care about each other, and just when Jay says, "I'd give anything to get him back." So number 3, we have Alexa and Katie. Putting Alexa and Katie at number 3 was very hard, because that's my favorite show, but they're just 2 other friendships to top it. But Alexa and Katie are these loyal friends who do everything together. They tell each other everything. Katie cut her hair, shaved her head for Alexa, and Alexa did it at the same time. Always there for each other, supporting each other. Even though it was hard, in the end, they made the right decisions for each other. Number 2, we have Cory and Shawn from Boy Meets World. Y'all knew this one was coming because of, you know me. Cory and Shawn are great. They're best friends. They care about each other. They love each other. Cory and Shawn are always there. Shawn considers, Cory calls Shawn his favorite person in the world. And he makes Shawn his best man, even though they have this big fight about they wouldn't be friends anymore. But then they show that they still can remain best friends even after Cory gets married. Number 1 is Ann and Sprig from Amphibia. This one's shouldn't surprise you, considering how much I love Ann and Sprig. How when I made that friendship brackets, how they weren't put in the mixture because I knew Ann and Sprig would win every time. I love them so much, especially in the last episode, which, spoiler warning here, if you want to skip this part, when she's about to sacrifice herself, he says to her, "I don't know what I'd do without you. You're my everything. You've changed my life." And he pleads with her not to sacrifice herself. And she says, "You've changed my life too." So good. So, TV siblings. First we have, number 5, we have the clones, which are basically siblings from the Clone Wars. They call each other brother. They're really cool. They're always sticking by each other. Number 4, we have Phineas and Ferb. They're stepbrothers who have a great bond, and they do everything together. The only reason they're this low on this list is just because you don't see them fighting for each other in the thick and the thin the way those do. Like Dipper and Mabel from Gravity Falls clearly have a stronger bond than most siblings. The way he's always sacrificing himself for her. The way she gets so upset when he's going to leave her. And how he decides to not leave her. During the scene in the Weirdmageddon arc. 2, we have Kai and Nia. From Ninjago. Kai and Nia have such a strong bond. They're Shisa's older brother. He cares for her. He became a ninja in order to rescue her. And he's supportive of her when she becomes the water ninja. So, yeah. Number 1, we have Huey, Dewey, and Louie, the triplets from DuckTales. This is from the 2017 one, obviously. They have distinct voices and personalities. They have a great bond. They have so much history together. And they're really funny. Their dynamic is really funny, which I guess are not as deep as like Mabel or Kainia, but they took the number 1 spot because they're so funny. So yeah. I hope I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I'll see you next time. Bye.